Stations, if you encounter any technical issues related to this baseball game broadcast, please call our trouble hotline at 573-893-7477. Mark 4 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 3 minutes until airtime on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Mark 3 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 2 minutes until airtime on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Your next time cue will come with 2 minutes until airtime. Stations, if you encounter any technical issues related to this live show broadcast, please call our trouble hotline at 573-893-7477. Mark 2 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Studio producers, when you hear, please start your archive recording. Your next time cue will come with 1 minute until airtime for today's live show broadcast on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Stations, we are coming up on 1 minute until airtime. 1 minute in 5, 4, 3, 2, Mark. 1 minute, stations. 1 minute until airtime for this live show broadcast. Studios, when you hear, please start your archive recording. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime, on my mark. Mark, 30 seconds. Your next and final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds. Have fun.
The following is a presentation of the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Powered by Learfield, this is Hail Southern Live on the Georgia Southern Sports Network.
Go to the pistol formation for the plus 47. There goes Jalen White again, up the numbers, 25, 20,
Southern Live is presented by Morris Bank. Bleed blue, bank blue. Morris Bank member FDIC. Also brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. Macon Occupational Medicine. The health of your business may depend on us. And by the Savannah Airport Commission with the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport. Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now let's return live from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Here's your host, the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reed.
Eagle Nation, it is great to see you again. Back one more time from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro for Hail Southern Live, presented each week by Morris Bank on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. It was a great weekend for Georgia Southern athletics, all highlighted by a top 25 win on Saturday night at Alan E. Paulson Stadium. How awesome was it to be inside the prettiest little stadium in America for a 45-38 victory over James Madison. First time they had met in 30 years. It went right down to the wire. Game-winning touchdown with 1:10 left. Anthony Wilson seals it with Georgia Southern's fourth forced turnover of the contest. We'll talk with one of the heroes of the game, Derrick Canteen. We'll also visit with Coach Helton in just a couple of moments. If you have any questions for tonight, feel free to send us those on our Facebook Live feed. You can also tweet us at GS Sports Network. But to get an idea of what a weekend like we just saw does from an overall athletic standpoint, we'd figured we'd bring in somebody from the administration. At this time, please welcome in Deputy AD Chris Davis to Hail Southern Live.
Thanks, Danny. Good to be here.
It's not just what we talked about. It's women's soccer pitching a shutout on Sunday. It's volleyball sweep over the weekend. It's women's rifle, winning the Georgia Collegiate Championships, also beating a number 14 squad in Jacksonville State, their highest-ranked victory ever. Oh, by the way, football beats a top 25 team. When you get all of that at once, what does it truly do for an athletic department?
Well, I mean, it's huge. It's a fun weekend, first of all. I mean, fun weekend for Eagle Nation, an absolute exciting time to be a part of everything we got going on. I'll tell you this. Soccer right now, women's soccer is playing fantastic. They're actually over at dinner right now over at Jared and Sarah's house. The whole team's over there enjoying dinner, which is a lot of fun. Something really cool to have all of our student athletes come through and break bread and with family, you know, and be around. After that, you know, what's going on, you know, with Soren, what he's doing, Coach Soren with rifle, been fantastic. You could just see it, and you know, he took a program that Coach Sandra Wilmer did a fantastic job with and just kept parlaying it into great success. And then this past Saturday night in Paulson, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into getting ready for a game. You know, Coach Helton and the team take care of everything and on the field, and we try to do everything we possibly can to create an incredible game day experience for all of Eagle Nation inside of Paulson, and try to dot every I and cross every T as it relates to making sure that not only do we have a good execution of the game day, but we also look at some new things that we did. I mean, we tried to get a good sing-along song in the fourth quarter. We nailed it, I think. Seemed like everyone stood up and was having a lot of fun, which those are hard to do. I put a lot of pressure. Dan Adams gets called out a lot on music's a hard job to do inside of any stadium, but he had it going on Saturday night.
I don't think the casual fan realizes just how much you do on a football game day, but are there little moments, are there snippets where you're able to actually take a look at the field and enjoy what's going on?
So mid-third quarter was the first time I had a chance to kind of watch a part of the game, and because I had a chance, I was going up the hill, and I noticed just how good Paulson Stadium looked. And so I went up to the President's Suite, and when they have that patio outside, and I took about a 12-second video of just all of Paulson. And it's really cool when you get a chance to stand up there and you see, you know, the whole home sideline was jam-packed. Recruits were all jammed in there with all of our all that whole area of the home sideline. And then you look across and you see the hills, and, you know, the hill on the home sideline towards the TED building, the FOC. Sure. Everyone's hanging out with blankets. Then you look down and you see all the loge seats filled. Then you look across the hill on the home sideline, you see everyone playing and sliding down on boxes. Bishop's filled. Then you look around the student section, and then the top middles were really good. And to be honest with you, which was great, and I think it's a testament to the Sun Belt, the visiting teams travel well because the Sun Belt has great regional contests. Right. And so, for James Madison to have a good area, I think it's just good for college football as a whole to have a crowd just like we travel, and then you cross right into, what was going on in the Cabanas and the into the Field of Dreams area. So it's just for that moment, I had a minute. I don't get a chance to watch too much of the game, so at home at least, and it's because all we're doing right away is just caring about executing on game day.
Coach Helton has talked about this a couple of times over the last couple of days. To be able to do what this program did Saturday night, but to do it in front of a great crowd, to do it in front of the Russell's family who came back and they were honored, to do it in front of the Dirty Dozen, the guys who were here at the beginning, to get this program going one more time, how much more did it mean from that standpoint?
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, it's if you look at Saturday nights and all the recognitions we did with to your point, Coach Russell's family, the Dirty Dozen, the 40th anniversary team.
Sure.
Like, we have so many traditions here. We got to continue and embrace them and continue to always storytell, because there's new people coming in, and we always have to storytell because we got to relive those memories as well. That's what makes us special. And to be able to do that, and then the stars align, right? And then you have that going on a Saturday night, and then you go in and do what we did as a team from a team standpoint and get the W in front of that type of crowd. And then you say, all right, look at what happens come November, right? We have 3 of the last 4 games at home.
Yep.
And, I'm a big fan of what Coach Helton and the team say. We got to go 1-0 each week, right? So right now all the focus is on Old Dominion, but from a standpoint of what we can do from a lens of planning ahead, we can look at and say, all right, we got 3 of the next 4 games at home. We got to use the energy that we had in Paulson and make sure our students show up against South Al and Marshall and App State. We got to make sure our fans show up. And we got to continue to make sure that tell our friends, tell our neighbors, tell all of Eagle Nation to get to the game. If you don't have tickets, there's tickets still available. And we're going to be pushing that. So don't be surprised when you see that pop up on your social media and all the above, gseagles.com, et cetera, that you're going to see pushed on that.
Well, you think about what's coming up these final 3 home games. You've got Military Appreciation Day against a really good South Alabama team on November the 5th. And then the last 2 games, a great rivalry in Marshall that was there in the Southern Conference days. It's been since 1996 since they met, and having App at the end of the season is something that Eagle fans have wanted for a long time, and now this is the 3rd straight year we've got that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get complete control of the Sun Belt schedule by any means, but we do, at least put in what we'd like to see. It's nice to get, I think, for both the App State game, it's nice to have it on Saturday at the end of the year for both teams, no matter who's hosting, home and away, based on the rotation. So having them at home this year is going to be fantastic. And like you said, the Marshall game. And, I mean, South Al's playing unbelievable football out of the West right now. And so, when we get there, but like I said, we still got games before that. But when we get there, that's our next home game. And it's truly noted. What was it? That was win 208 inside, right? 208 inside Paulson. It is hard to play there. Like, we have to continue as a fan base to know that we got to do our part, because it is very hard to play there. If you heard how loud it was, in the 3rd and 4th quarter, and all it does, like a Derrick Canteen, you don't think he wants to fly around the field and go make another play defensively? Like, that's why he wants to be, like, it just feeds off of that, right? And so you get a chance there to make that momentous occasion. Coach Helton and I are working on a little surprise on that number of wins inside of Paulson that we're trying to work on internally inside. So stay tuned on that. It's a little teaser. And then also I think it was really cool because if we don't cover it, I want to say it. I mean, to have a coach who's running a college football program, there's a lot that's going on. And it takes a lot to do it. And to get 1 win versus to get 50 wins as a head football coach, that's tough to do. And so for Coach Helton to get 50 wins in that type of environment, and setting, I think it's super cool. So all in all, I mean, Saturday night was a special night. And one last thing to that, there was a ton of our teams that had recruits there. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not just football. Everyone's using that front porch, as in Paulson Stadium, to use as a recruiting avenue. So, I mean, big night. Like, big night across the board for all of our teams. They had recruits there, and see what type of energy y'all in here bring to Paulson is fantastic.
All right, we did get a question earlier today. JB asking if you would rank yourself in regards to ping pong in Georgia Southern's athletic department.
Who asked that question?
JB asked that question.
Oh, well.
I was told to save that to the end.
Listen, I'm working a lot, but if somebody wants to play me in ping pong, I'll find 10 minutes to play them.
It's only going to take 10 minutes?
Yeah, because it'll probably be like 21-8 or something like that. I mean, it's not going to take much. I mean, it'll be pretty fast. We had one guy talking smack, and then 21-10, it was over. And said, good night, have a nice night. So, I mean.
There's a ping pong table in Paris now.
What we're trying to do is, you know, it's just like anything, it's a stressful environment. And people, one thing about it is you got to value people. And just like and I know we're using a ping pong table to go into this subject, but here's the deal. You got the fans, you have your student athletes, you have your coaches, and you have your staff. And you have your entire university ecosystem of everyone that works there. You got to realize that the best thing we have is people. And if you can love on your people in every aspect and do whatever we can to take care of people, and that's each group of those people have to be taken care of in a certain way. But if you can take care of each group, and for our staff, hey, if we can provide a ping pong table, and we don't work normal business hours, so if they want to play a quick ping pong match, hey, let's do it. So, no, it was a special weekend, and we got a lot of good things to be proud of, but we got a lot more things to take care of. So keep supporting and keep fighting, and for all of Eagle Nation.
CD, thanks for hopping on tonight. Thanks very much.
Appreciate y'all. Hail Southern.
Deputy AD Chris Davis. We'll talk Eagle football after this timeout. Clay Helton comes up to the dais here at Wild Wing Cafe. This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield.
You've trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance. All without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
You need the best players. You need to keep them safe. And if they do get injured, you need the best occupational medicine services available to make sure that they're back in the game for you and your business. This is Leonard Bevel from Macon Occupational Medicine, and that's exactly what we've been doing for business and industries throughout Georgia since 1990. We outperform others by getting injured workers back to work quicker while maintaining the highest levels of customer satisfaction. The health of your business may depend on us. We're Macon Occupational Medicine.
Here's to the fans who show up for the game, finding their spot, staking their claim, towing the trailers, hauling the gear. A tradition of tailgating that happens each year. And here's to the truck they drive, the Ford F-150 truck. Power your tailgate like never before with an available ProPower onboard generator. For great offers, see your local Ford dealer today. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
Did you know that Yancey Rents is a Georgia-owned rental company serving Georgia since 1914? Yancey Rents has excavators, dozers, backhoe loaders, small dump trucks, water trucks, concrete saws, light towers, scissor lifts, and so much more. We've got a huge selection of equipment ready to be rented today. Call 844-YNC-RENT or check us out at yanceyrents.com. With 16 locations around the state and a new expanded lineup of equipment ready to be rented right now, Yancey Rents wants to be your preferred rental supplier in Georgia.
Eagle Nation, this is William Martin from Southern Exchange Company. We're proud to always bring you the best selection of Georgia Southern gear for game day and every day. Make sure to stop by and visit us at our store across from campus on Chandler Road or online at southernexchangecompany.com. Follow Southern Exchange on social media at SXC Statesboro for the latest gear in stock. Southern Exchange Company, the official merchandiser of Georgia Southern Athletics.
Optum Medical Center Tatnall, we know you're not yourself when even just one part of you is hurt. Optum Medical Center Tatnall in Reedsville provides Eagle Nation with the highest quality care in surgical, hospital, clinical, diagnostic, and therapeutic services. The physician-owned medical center has been named one of America's top 100 best hospitals for joint replacement and is a 5-star recipient for total hip replacement, total knee replacement, and spinal fusion surgery. For more information, visit OptumHealthSystem.com.
New vision, new identity, same battle cry.
Man, what a great day to be an Eagle. Mercy!
It's time to GATA.
Gerald Green outside the hash. 10, 5, bye-bye.
Jalen White, welcome the young bull all the way home.
Dougie Thompson, what a tackle at the 10-yard line. How much fun is he to watch?
Let's go.
Listen to Eagles football all season on the Georgia Southern Sports Network from Learfield.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Broken tackle. He's got the first down and more. Down to the 33. Caleb Hood, a game-saving play. Unbelievable. He needed to break the tackle to get the first down. It's a Morris Bank first down.
In a game filled with memorable plays, that one ranks right up there. Caleb Hood's 14-yard catch on 4th and 10 from James Madison's 47-yard line gives the Eagles a chance to, well, do what they did 2 plays later. Back-to-back catches by Derwin Burgess, 22-yarder with 1:10 left. 45-38 was the final, defeating the number 25 team in the country. Eagles now 4-3 overall, 1-2 in conference play. And that's how we welcome you back to segment 2 in this week's edition of Hail Southern Live, presented by Morris Bank. Bleed Blue, Bank Blue, Morris Bank, member FDIC here on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Eagle Nation at this time, please welcome in the head Eagle, head coach Clay Helton.
Thank you, guys.
Could probably pick out 50 different plays from Saturday, but that play by Caleb, there was so much that was going on, game on the line. He gets hit about 2 yards short of the first down, gets hit 2 more times, puts his hand down 2 separate times, and when he gets up, he just looks like he's filled with Paulson Stadium. It was an unbelievable moment.
Oh my gosh! Well, glory to God and a bunch of great kids. I'm going to tell you that there were so many different plays in that game that came up, and that was a special play. You know, they brought a pressure where Kyle was hot, and for both kids to recognize that they're hot, do the hot break adjustment, catch that ball, and us on the sideline going, oh my gosh, this is going to be really close, and him fight for every inch. You know, the game always comes down to inches and comes down to just a couple plays, and that was just as you called it, that was a game-saving play and a terrific play, one of those that you don't forget.
We were automatically thinking, okay, is this going to be another Nebraska where you score the game-winning touchdown? Is it going to be a Coastal where they end up hanging on for the victory? And it turned out that Eagle Nation made the difference in those final couple of minutes.
Oh, it was electric. I'm going to tell you, you know, when I came here back in November, everybody said the power of Paulson is special, Coach, and the power of Paulson is special. And you could feel it in the 3 wins that we've had at home. Every time Eagle Nation has come out, not only our alumni, our fans, our students, I can't credit them enough, they're building each and every week. And that 3rd and 4th quarter, I mean, you could just feel, I mean, the hairs are standing up on my arm right now just going back and remember it. Because it was, you know, I've been in some great stadiums, but I don't know if there's been more passion from a fan base on when we walk in there. And we told our team, do whatever it takes for win 208, and they did. You know, they expect to win each and every game. They walked in expecting to beat a good James Madison team, and they found a way to win. And it was a great confidence builder for our team. It was a win that was needed for our season. It was a win that was needed for recruiting, to say you not only can you beat a Power 5 team, you can beat a top 25 team, and it's great for our fan base to be able to see that electricity. A lot of young. It was neat to see the crowd rush the stadium and to see all the little Eagles that were out there. That's going to be their memory, is that game and coming on the field and celebrating. And that's how you build fan bases to be so strong, is those magical moments. So it was really neat. Win 208 was special.
The word that kept coming up on the broadcast in the second half was heart, especially with the way the defense played. There were parts of that game where the defense has not looked better in 2022. But for Caleb to make that play in that situation, Derwin turns into an acrobat again to make the 22-yard touchdown catch, and then Anthony Wilson helps seals it. You could just feel the heart as the game went on.
Yeah, there were so many big plays by so many people. I mean, you think about Tyler Bride early
Sure.
with that pick. You think about Anthony Wilson to finish a game. You think about even a young Deshaun Davis coming in, a true freshman on the last drive, and he gets a hit on the quarterback. And then that pick, he comes off a stunt, and he's right there, and the quarterback flinches because he knows he's getting ready to get hit again and sails a ball just a little bit too much. There were so many big plays by so many kids. It was such a great team effort. Proud of what they did. We went on the road 2 weeks in a row and put ourselves in a position to win, and didn't make enough plays in the last 5 minutes of the game. And this time at Paulson, we made the plays to get the victory.
I know we brought up a couple of times how excited Brian Ellis gets after a big play or a big call, but I'm going to tell you what, after Wilson's interception to end the game, Will Harris might have shown the same thing, and this was such a cool moment that Russ brought up. He runs it over to the sideline, gives him the football, the celebration ensues. That was just such an awesome thing.
Yeah, this team really cares about each other. And it's staff, it's players, it's all 188 souls in the building. There's a care and genuine concern for each other, and we play for each other. And to see, and you could feel it on the sidelines. You could feel the kids. They were how they were rooting and cheering for each other. Almost at times I was trying to get coaches, players back. I mean, it was a very very energetic, emotional game.
I know you don't do this for the individual accolades. CD brought it up already. It was your 50th win as a head coach, so congratulations to you on that as well.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's been an honor to be in this game. I look forward to the next 50 right here in Statesboro. And I tell you what, it's something that I've got to thank every coach and every player that I've been associated with, because you're only as good as the people that surround you. And I've been very fortunate in my time as a head coach to be around some exceptional talent and some exceptional people.
A lot more to break down from James Madison last weekend. We might talk a little bit about Kyle Van Treese. We will talk about Derrick Canteen. He'll join us here in just a little bit, and then we'll transition to Old Dominion this Saturday up in Norfolk, Virginia. This is Hail Southern Live from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
Is slow internet slowing you down? Having trouble connecting to all your technology needs? Bullock Solutions has the solution for you. With a 100% fiber optic high-speed network, Bullock Solutions provides modern services with the latest technologies available in the industry. Need security options for your new home? Bullock Solutions has got you covered with state-of-the-art video surveillance and smart technology to give you the peace of mind you deserve. Bullock Solutions has internet and technology packages to meet every need. Visit us at bullock.solutions today.
Nothing kicks off your game better than a handful of Georgia peanuts. Power packed with protein, essential nutrients, and great taste. Georgia peanuts are the MVP for affordability, sustainability, and nutrition. To score life's touchdowns with recipes and fun facts, check out GAPeanuts.com. The perfectly powerful peanut is brought to you by the family farmers of the Georgia Peanut Commission.
Peanuts! Get your peanuts!
You understand that it's not just grand gestures that can change someone's life. It's consistency, doing the same thing every day for a long, long time. At Georgia Southern, we believe it's you, our annual giving donors, doing more than just impacting the bottom line. You're impacting students filled with big dreams and the desire to change the world. Our mission is to make them ready to make those dreams real, and your gift makes it possible. Because of you, they are ready. Visit georgiasouthern.edu/give to make a difference.
For many years, you've heard that Knox knocks them out. Well, that's because it's true. The Knox family has been serving yours for over 85 years. Just like the Eagles on the field, the Knox experts respond with speed. In addition to their soon as possible, same or next day service, your satisfaction is 100% guaranteed with pest, termite, mosquito, wildlife, and bed bug control. To learn more about how Knox knocks them out, head over to knoxpest.com or call 877-KNOX-PEST.
You need the best players. You need to keep them safe. And if they do get injured, you need the best occupational medicine services available to make sure that they're back in the game for you and your business. This is Leonard Bevel from Macon Occupational Medicine, and that's exactly what we've been doing for business and industries throughout Georgia since 1990. We outperform others by getting injured workers back to work quicker while maintaining the highest levels of customer satisfaction. The health of your business may depend on us. We're Macon Occupational Medicine.
Talent inspired. Hi, this is Terry Harvin, and I firmly believe that those are two words that should describe your company's starting lineup of employees. If they don't, then you need to reach out to my friends at Select Source Staffing. Talent inspired since 1997, Select Source is owned by a proud Georgia Southern grad. They're solution-minded and truly understand that no two companies and no two employees are the same. So whether you're looking to hire someone or you're searching for a new opportunity for yourself, explore Select Source and check out their postings at selectsource.com.
Powered by Learfield, this is the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Welcome back to Hail Southern Live, presented by Morris Bank.
Legs up, Eagle Nation! Touchdown, Georgia Southern!
Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now let's return live from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Once again, here's the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reed.
Georgia Power is proud to be a partner with Eagle Athletics. Eric Russell said that our offense is called the Georgia Power Company, and now Georgia Power would like to help you save on your power bill. Visit georgiapower.com to learn more about becoming more energy efficient and saving with their handy energy efficiency tips. Hail Southern Live continues from Wild Wing Cafe here in Statesboro on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. Let's take a question off of social media. Lance asking, Coach, any thoughts to bleeding the clock and kicking the field goal as opposed to the winning TD pass to Burgess?
Well, we've been in this situation a couple times, and each one is different. You have to judge exactly where you are clockwise, as well as them timeouts, and being able in that drive. Before we started that drive, I looked up and I was like, oh my goodness, okay, 2:23. I asked the guys, I said, how much time do I usually give you all in a 2-minute drill? They go, Coach, minute 29. I said, how many timeouts? They go, one timeout, Coach. I said, well, look up there. There's 2:23 left, and we got 2 timeouts. That's too much time for us. And, we, as you could see, we just played ball. We didn't call timeouts. We were just trying to – we knew that we'd move the ball naturally down. We're on the 30-yard line. We're on the 30-yard line, and we're sitting there, and you've got about a minute 10 left on the clock, and – we get the ideal coverage that Kyle actually sees. We call a play, and Kyle sees the man coverage, and he checks to a go route to Derwin, and I can't hold it against him. And in that situation, he saw the one-on-one. He was willing to take it and didn't mind it because I knew that would put us up more than a field goal. I knew we had already planned on we're going for 2 once we score a touchdown, and that would make it a 7-point game. They would have to go the length of the field with no timeouts, and that's a hard thing to do. That's a hard thing to do compared to a Coastal game where you had just a less than a field goal wins it. So we wanted to be a touchdown. I wish we could have took a little bit more time off the clock, but I'll never slow down a gunslinger when to have that courage. He made 2 checks on that drive, one to a true freshman on 3rd and 5. He checks a route and puts him in an ideal situation to get the first down, and then the gunslinger that he is and the courage he has, he saw the one-on-one, and there was no stopping him, and I'm not going to stop him.
I want to go back to the check that he made for Marcus Sanders on the final drive. He had 3 catches all year coming in. We know how talented he's going to be out of Macon County, but with Jeremy Singleton on the sidelines, he makes 1 catch early, but on 3rd down, to trust a freshman to be able to make a play like that, again, another game-saving play. What kind of trust was built there?
We know the talent that Marcus has, and he's really been getting better each and every week. Our coaches have done a great job of developing our freshmen. You've seen a Mark Stampley make a big play, an interception last week. Latrell Bullard, how he is playing. Deshaun Davis shows up, and Marcus has been growing. But there were 2 plays in that last drive. One, he started the drive off catching a dig route to get that drive going. And then on the 3rd and 5 for, a veteran quarterback to say, all right, rookie, it's our time. This is your time. I'm going to go to you. I see what the coverage is. I'm going to check us into a good play, an advantage route against that coverage, and I'm going to you. Look dead at him. And to have that courage and make that first down, that's a huge play in that drive.
The block punt that took place early in the second quarter, and we know that Josh Thompson is the one that blocked it and recovered it, but during that play, did not realize this while it was live, but I don't know if Parker Devine was diving for the ball when he just happened to take out the punter, but by doing what he did, he cleared the path for Thompson to recover the block that he started and to finish that play. That was a pretty sweet moment, too.
Oh, gosh. It was. We all laughed. So after a win, the kids don't regularly get to see the TV copy, so we put a highlight tape together of the TV copy, and they have fun with it. It's about 10 to 12 minutes long, and they get to watch it. And we all had fun because with that block putt, you see Parker, it looks like a big Twinkie down there, and he's like, oh, my God, it looks so good. And he tried everything in his power to fall on it. And being a big man, big men is not as agile as Jet Thompson. He went to go get it and naturally blocked the defender beside him in his attempt. And Jet appreciated it because he got the block and scored a touchdown.
You might have just given Parker Devine a new nickname.
Yeah, no question. Yeah.
So, Kyle Van Treese, what do you say about 64 attempts, no sacks allowed, 578 yards, by far a school record, third most in the history of the Sun Belt?
Yeah, we came in the game, and I said this in the press conference today, we didn't come in the game to throw 64 passes.
Yeah.
We came in the game with our normal attempt to try to be balanced, but we knew one or two things was going to happen. Obviously, this is a really good defense, number 2 in the country overall, number 1 rush defense.
Yep.
And one of the reasons that they is they commit to getting the extra defender in the box and zone pressuring. And we've seen so many different looks. We've had teams that, have played coverage, have dropped 8. We've had teams that play their normal defense. And then we face a team that is ultra aggressive, committed to stopping the run. And we just didn't, when we went into the game, we just didn't know how it was going to look. So we planned a run attack. We planned a balanced attack, run and pass. And when we got through the first quarter, it was like, okay, they're doing the same thing. They're being them. They're blitzing every down. They're adding the extra defender to the box. They're leaving some voided zones that we need to attack. And so we went to our players and said, okay, guys, here it is. We even went to Jalen White and said, hey, buddy, you're going to have to go catch a half dozen passes, and we're going to have to open this thing up. And all of a sudden you look up, and if you would have told me at the beginning of the game, Coach, you're going to have 45 points, 590 yards, and against the number 2 defense in the nation, I don't care how it came. I would have taken it. And you got the W. I would have said we could have backpedaled every route, and I would have been fine with it. It was one of those that we always say we take what the defense gives us. Sometimes you're going to rush for 200 yards like we've done, and sometimes you're going to have to throw. And in that day, it was 64 passes with not 1 sack. And credit to our offensive line and our running backs and Kyle getting the ball out.
If you bring up Jalen having to catch 6 balls, 64 yards, both career highs by far, the 37-yard touchdown up the sideline. Nobody makes a swing or a flat route as fun as Jalen White. That's the go-ahead touchdown late in the third quarter. But you said something really interesting earlier today in the press conference about as a play caller, sometimes you can be stubborn. You said that, though, you had 2 different sets of play calls, if you had to be a running team or as a passing team. But my question is, in a game that's filled with emotion, how do you take the emotion out of it when you got to make decisions like that?
Well, we're responsible to win and to make sure that we put our kids and give them the best tools to win. And so when we went into the game, we had a running attack, but we also knew if they brought zone pressures, 2 things were going to have to happen. 1, we were going to have to push the ball down the field vertically, which you saw, and 2, we were going to have to put the ball on the perimeter and hope that our kids were skilled and talented enough against their quality defenders too to make plays. On the stat sheet, you'll look up and you'll see, hey, Jalen White caught a touchdown for 40 yards. What people don't know is he caught that behind the line of scrimmage and made 3 people miss, and that's what we needed on this day. And so credit to our kids. Once we said, okay, hey, this is the direction that we're going, and said, hey, we're going to, if they're going to continue to do this, we're going to continue to attack. We're not going to sit back. We're not going to be stubborn and force runs into loaded boxes. If they're going to continue to do it, we're going to continue to attack. And that's when it really flipped. That's when you all of a sudden you look up, you have only 7 points, in the middle of the second quarter, and then all of a sudden you look up at the end of the game and you have 45.
Somebody I'm going to give some love to before we hit our next timeout. We don't hardly talk about him, but he shows up every day and busts his tail. The play that Chase Dial Watson made on that 4th down pass breakup in the second half.
Oh, my goodness. I'm going to tell you what, Chase is an extremely valued member of our football team. A lot of special teams that he's on. He is one of those kids that come in at a moment's notice. He practices and educates himself like he's a starter. You know, he preps like a starter each and every week, you know, and knowing that he's going to probably get his opportunity. And in about half the games he has, and he's really showed up for us, not only in special teams but on defense. Really proud of him.
When we come back from this break, we'll talk with standout defensive back Derrick Canteen off a career high 12 tackles in his first career sack against James Madison. We'll do that next from Wild Wing Cafe. This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield.
Here's to the fans who show up for the game, finding their spot, staking their claim, towing the trailers, hauling the gear. A tradition of tailgating that happens each year. And here's to the truck they drive, the Ford F-150 truck. Power your tailgate like never before with an available ProPower onboard generator. For great offers, see your local Ford dealer today. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
Optum Medical Center Tatnall, we know you're not yourself when even just one part of you is hurt. Optum Medical Center Tatnall in Reedsville provides Eagle Nation with the highest quality care in surgical, hospital, clinical, diagnostic, and therapeutic services. The physician-owned medical center has been named one of America's top 100 best hospitals for joint replacement and is a 5-star recipient for total hip replacement, total knee replacement, and spinal fusion surgery. For more information, visit OptumHealthSystem.com.
You've trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance. All without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
At Tidewater Equipment Company in Brooklyn, we understand how important every hour is when you're farming. We have an exceptional parts and service department, an extensive used equipment inventory, and we are exclusive distributors of Case IH tractors, planters, sprayers, combines, and more. We're here for everything you need when it comes to agriculture. Visit Tidewater in Brooklyn or online at TidewaterEquip.com, your premier Case IH tractor dealer. To those who work in acres, not ours, we thank you.
You need the best players. You need to keep them safe. And if they do get injured, you need the best occupational medicine services available to make sure that they're back in the game for you and your business. This is Leonard Bevel from Macon Occupational Medicine, and that's exactly what we've been doing for business and industries throughout Georgia since 1990. We outperform others by getting injured workers back to work quicker while maintaining the highest levels of customer satisfaction. The health of your business may depend on us. We're Macon Occupational Medicine.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
Eagle Nation, are you ready?
Stop, reverse layup goes, and the foul. He cuts over the baseline, he dunked it right on top of Talbot. Oh, come on, Kamari. Don't hurt him.
Eagles basketball returns Tuesday, November 8th at San Jose State.
It's a run out for Archie. Here he comes. Two-handed dunk. Oh, what a moment. This place explodes.
Hail Southern all season long on the Georgia Southern Sports Network.
Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
1st and 10 at the Eagle 25, looking at a gun with 3 wides right. Snap to Centeo, looks automatically left, backside pressure. He
He's hit and he's sacked. It was Derrick Canteen that came on the nickel blitz. That's the first sack of Canteen's career. Takeaway 7, back to 32.
12 tackles and that sack for the guys sitting to our left here at Hail Southern Live from Wild Wing Cafe on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. If you have any questions, you can tweet us at GS Sports Network. Eagles coming off the 45-38 win over James Madison on Saturday. They'll head to Norfolk, Virginia this Saturday at 3:30 at SB Ballard Stadium. First time they've met Old Dominion since 2012. And, of course, for the first time as Sun Belt foes, we'll kick it off at 1:30 with the Cutwater Spirits Tailgate Show. Eagle Nation, give it up for defensive back Derrick Canteen.
Thank you.
So you had a nice little Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Being that Eagle Nation knows you as a cornerback, to move inside and play that nickel position, how did that all come about?
I have to give a thanks to my defense coordinator and position coach, Coach Harris and Coach Witt, because all during the spring, all during the summer, they kind of prepared me, not only learning the new defense as a corner, but all around. Yeah. You know, they trained me in a way where I learned the entire defense. So mentally, I was already prepared. So having me have a concussion against Georgia State, it gave me more time to prepare. And when the time was called, I was prepared to make the switch.
What made the move specifically challenging against an offense like James Madison that's so RPO-based?
Not only just the RPO, but they're just all-around balanced. And they had a great rush attack, and then they had a great slot receiver that I was kind of matched up with all game. So, you know, on the mental side, I had to prepare for not only just the run, but also the pass. And, you know, fortunately, it had me all over the field, but just preparing for it was challenging.
All right, take me back through the sack.
They called a nickel blitz, and it was a tight formation. So I got to disguise like I was showing man. So when I came off the edge to the blitz, the O-line, and no one picked up. They didn't even see me coming. So it just allowed me to have a good angle. I've been working with the D-line coaches all week, so able to reduce my shoulder, and time came and made a play.
When's the last time you had a sack?
I've never had a sack ever.
Not even in high school?
No. Never.
Oh, wow.
No.
Wow. But a win like that for this team, you guys beat Nebraska a little more than a month ago, but to take down a top 25 team in our house, how special was that?
Special. I think as a player, it's just fun. You know, you had defensive plays, offensive plays, special team plays, young guys, veteran guys. So all around, you just see highlights after highlights, big plays being made. And you know, for us, we're a tight bond. You know, we have actual relationship with each other, so we're proud of each other on the sideline. You know, water's being thrown, the fans are in tune, so it was just a fun game.
You bring up how tight you guys are. I got to reference the hat that you're wearing, Bradley Glenn Construction. We know that Todd's out for the year. We hope that he gets a chance to come back in 2023 for that 8th season. He does have one more year if he chooses to use it. We will go ahead and tell you guys that now. But to be able to play with him and be able to give his company a little bit of exposure, what kind of relationship do you have with Todd?
Todd is a veteran and just someone that I look to on and off the field. You know, last year we were both hurt. We both had season-ending injuries, and you know, we happened to join a book club together. We just got tight off the field, and then obviously this off-season training, preparing for the season, we were both playing. So, you know, it's someone I respect on and off the field, and, you know, it's just an honor to rep his brand.
What kind of books you into?
We read books mostly about just things that we can relate to on and off the field. Like we read a book. It's called Rick Ross has a book, Perfect Day to Boss Up. Okay. It was another book. It's called The Energy Bus, just about being positive. John Gordon. Okay. He had another book. It was something about playing. It was the blue cover book. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, it was just books like that. You know, short, easy reads that we were mostly talking about relating these books to the field or not the field, stuff like that.
Dylan's in that too.
Dylan. It was me, Dylan, Todd, Hood, and Daryl Baker.
How do you start something like that?
It was actually Dylan's idea. You know, all of us have had injuries or just something that has had serious moments on and off the field, and we all just kind of bonded in that way. And having me have an injury, Todd have an injury, you know, we just decided to have a book club, and what it did was just allowed us just to really just fellowship, just talk. So as that happened, we more and more guys started coming, and it was just a good space to connect.
I think about when you first got here and you were probably looking up to Kendall Vildor. Now you're the older guy on the block, and somebody like Mark Stampley is looking up to you. What do you notice about being the guy that was younger to the guy right now?
I think looking up to guys like Kendall Vildor prepared me to be in a leadership role for guys like Mark Stampley, because I can remember sitting in team meetings and, finding myself frustrated because, I want to play more and things like that, and just those positive words and just the older guys believing in me and pulling me along. So now that I'm able to do the same for some of our older guys, not just Mark Stampley, but even other guys that haven't had the opportunity to play yet, it's like a full circle feeling. You see, I can understand where they are, and I can understand where they're trying to get to, so I can relate to them and try to pull them along.
Not only a freshman All-American back in 2020, also an honor roll student. So this is truly a Georgia Southern man, and a pleasure to have a chance to have him with us at Hail Southern Live tonight. How do you balance what you need to learn in the classroom with trying to be your best on the field?
I say balance. It's something that you have to learn and take in early on in college, and I was always taught to have a good start. So fortunate for me, I have a tight-knit family, and, school was always enforced growing up. So first thing first was always school. So as you get school under your belt and you start to, learn to manage time and things like that, it makes things easier. So the worst thing you want to do is just get behind. So fortunately, when I came into college, I was already a step ahead. So it was just smooth sailing from there.
This next thing I'm thinking about happened 2 years ago, but when we had a chance to go up to West Point on post, play Army. Your dad served in the Army for 22 years. You get a scoop and score from 22 yards out, and it's by far one of the coolest things that I've ever had a chance to watch.
Yes, sir. That was an amazing moment. Going into that game, all I could think about was 22, 22, 22, and when I got the chance to score, it was crazy. The ball just fell into my hands, and I threw up, 22, and to find out I was 22 yards away, it was just a blessing to be in that
You didn't even
situation.
realize it was 22 yards?
I didn't even realize that.
Oh, wow.
I did not realize that.
Going into this weekend, another road trip. It seems like we've been on the road almost every weekend this year, but Old Dominion, a team that just knocked the tar out of Coastal Carolina up in Conway last weekend. They're 2-0 in conference play. I know this is your guys' day off, but what can you tell us about Old Dominion as we head into the weekend?
I say they're another good team that's balanced. They have a good rushing game. They have a good passing game. They're a team that plays. They're a confident team. They, like you said, they come off a win versus Coastal, and we're going to them. And by my understanding, they have a good crowd at home. So we're going into a game in an atmosphere that with a lot of confidence. They have a lot of confidence, but we have a lot of confidence too. So I feel like it'll be a dogfight, and it's a conference game, so it'll be emotional, things like that. But we just have to play our game.
Last one before the bye week, 3:30 kickoff from SB Ballard Stadium in Norfolk on Saturday. We're live at 1:30 with the Cutwater Spirits Tailgate Show. Derrick, your class act. Thanks for being here tonight, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Derrick Canteen, 12 tackles and a sack last weekend in Georgia Southern's victory over James Madison. Coach Helton joins us to talk about those Monarchs. We'll do it after this timeout here from Wild Wing Cafe on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
Eagle Nation, this is William Martin from Southern Exchange Company. We're proud to always bring you the best selection of Georgia Southern gear for game day and every day. Make sure to stop by and visit us at our store across from campus on Chandler Road or online at southernexchangecompany.com. Follow Southern Exchange on social media at SXC Statesboro for the latest gear in stock. Southern Exchange Company, the official merchandiser of Georgia Southern Athletics.
Hey Eagle Nation, it's Stacy Underwood from Uncle Shook's Barbecue Place at 434 South Main Street right here in Statesboro. We're proud to be a partner of Georgia Southern football in this new era and want to wish Coach Helton luck in his first year. Remember, game day isn't complete without some Uncle Shook's favorites like our slow-cooked barbecue pork, juicy and tender beef brisket, and fall-off-the-bone smoked ribs. Add some of our made-from-scratch sides and you'll be a winner at the tailgate. Place an order online at UncleShooks.com. Go Eagles!
Did you know that Yancey Rents is a Georgia-owned rental company serving Georgia since 1914? Yancey Rents has excavators, dozers, backhoe loaders, small dump trucks, water trucks, concrete saws, light towers, scissor lifts, and so much more. We've got a huge selection of equipment ready to be rented today. Call 844-YNC-RENT or check us out at YanceyRents.com. With 16 locations around the state and a new expanded lineup of equipment ready to be rented right now, Yancey Rents wants to be your preferred rental supplier in Georgia.
You choose the combination, and they'll cook in their 500-degree brick oven in just a few minutes. Your own delicious pizza experience using only the freshest ingredients on hand-tossed dough and individually sized just for you. And that Eagle Nation is why they're called Your Pie, because it's all about you. The Your Pie in Statesboro and downtown Savannah is owned and operated by Joe Hunt, a Georgia Southern grad. So when you order your next pizza, be true blue and make it all about you. Go see Joe at Your Pie, and I guarantee it, you'll be glad you did.
University Store is built for game day. As the official store of Georgia Southern University, we have the largest selection of officially licensed hats, polos, tees, tanks, tumblers, signs, bobbleheads, and more. Every Eagle, young and old, can find their favorite Georgia Southern merchandise at our Armstrong and Statesboro campus stores. As part of the university, we support student success by investing our profits back into scholarships, facility improvements, and programs on each campus. Visit our stores today or shop 24/7 at gsustore.com.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
Powered by Learfield, this is the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Welcome back to Hail Southern Live, presented by Morris Bank.
Legs up, Eagle Nation! Touchdown, Georgia Southern!
Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now let's return live from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Once again, here's the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reed.
Just a few minutes left in this week's edition of Hail Southern Live from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield, presented each week by Morris Bank. We'll talk about Old Dominion in just a moment, but Coach, how about a guy like Derrick Canteen to represent your program in this university?
I tell you what a first-class gentleman and a true pro. He's credit to him getting his degree this fall, which we're so proud of him. He's in his last class right now, and I tell you what, he's one of the guys that live in the building. It's no surprise to us how well he plays because, I mean, he makes the FOC his home. You know, he comes in there every day. He's taking care of his body. As you can tell, he's put on so much muscle, which has allowed him to really have the opportunity not only to play corner, but now play nickel against some of the teams, the heavier run teams, to be a run force defender. You saw his ability to pressure off the edge. He's really upping his stock, I think, as an NFL player by showing all the different avenues that he can help a team.
Another road trip this weekend. Got to hop a bird. We're going to Norfolk, Virginia.
Hey, but in November, we're 3 of 4 in November, baby.
I know, finally, right?
Yeah. We get to have a great November right here in Paulson.
Half the home schedule will be in Paulson in the month of November when the frost is on the pumpkin. That'll be great. Savannah Hilton Head International Airport and the Savannah Airport Commission proudly sponsor Eagle Athletics. You can visit them online at flysav.com before your next trip. No place to fly out of if you're Georgia Southern football going to Norfolk this weekend.
It's the best place in the world. The service there and the people and how they do business. There is no better airport than Savannah.
Old Dominion 3-3 record. They've only played 6 games because they've already had their bye week, but they're in first place in the East Division. They were picked 7th coming into the year. They're first in the Sun Belt. They're 2-0. They beat Arkansas State in Norfolk, but as we just talked about with Derrick, man, they put a whooping on Coastal Carolina on Saturday in Conway.
Yeah, you know, they're a bunch that really kind of found themselves here lately, and they've put themselves in games, it seems like, each and every week. Close games early in the season, and now they're playing their best football. And you look at what they did. You look at what they did last Saturday against Coastal. They really changed their MO a little bit. They had been a 60% pass team, very efficient passing game, good quarterback, good skilled players, about 40% run, and then all of a sudden, a team that was averaging about 113 yards rushing has a back that goes for 235.
Yeah.
And they really created a balance. And they used 2 quarterbacks, one that's a true passer, one that's a great athlete that can do a little bit of the quarterback-driven run game. They mixed that in, and their defense, I think, is absolutely stellar. They do a tremendous job on the defensive side. So they really came into their own and playing their best football over these last 2 weeks.
Now that victory over Coastal, they were coming off of their bye week, so they had that extra couple of days to get ready for Coastal, which had been dominant at home. They had not lost this year. I think they had a 9-game winning streak overall going back to the end of last year. The games earlier in the season compared to what they ran on Saturday, does that challenge the preparation to try to be ready for everything?
A little bit, because usually, when you have some successes in a game, you're going to continue to draw. Kids feed off that. So, we always go into every game, with the ability to, hopefully make the quarterback win the game. They have proven that they can run the ball against a dang good defense in Coastal. And so, we've got to do our best job of holding our gap assignments, getting the ball down in the run game, hopefully creating some 3rd and longs, and then hold up against a really nice passing attack, which Old Dominion has.
You mentioned running back Blake Watson. He set the school record for rushing this past weekend in that victory against Coastal. But the wide receiver that is number 2 in the country in receiving yards, Ali Jennings III, he is responsible for more than half of their receiving yards 6 games into the season. Now, it might be easy to say, well, just put 2 or 3 guys on him. But how can you devise coverage to try to account for him and the rest of the talent that they have?
Yeah, so they really helped themselves last week. I mean, anytime that you get the running game going, that gives you some advantage coverages. And all of a sudden, Ali was getting doubled in some games, and I thought their offensive staff made a nice adjustment and say, hey, we got to really make a commitment to the run game, which they did, and it opened up some things, for them, and kind of found themselves a nice balanced attack. And so we're going to have to, really play like we played in this last game, which was assignment sound, played aggressive, was able to force some turnovers, and limit those opportunities from an offense that's really hitting its stride right now.
They were expecting their defensive line to be a major strength going into the year, and it has been. But middle linebacker Jason Henderson leads the country, averaging better than 14 tackles per game. He had 21 stops, a school record against Arkansas State. How do you account for somebody that's always around the football?
Yeah, number 42 is a good player.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a vet. He's played a lot of ball, and he has a knack for finding the ball. He's ultra aggressive. You can tell he's a student of the game. He plays the play before the ball's even snapped. He's already diagnosed. You can see him pointing out some things. You could tell he is a football instinctive player, and so it's going to be a challenge to us, especially in the run game, to try to get to him and lock up on him.
Coach, congratulations on an outstanding victory against JMU. Safe travels. Let's get to 1-0 again this weekend.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Hail Southern.
Going to Norfolk, Virginia on Saturday, 3:30 kick, 1:30 airtime. It's Georgia Southern and the Monarchs for the 3rd time ever. Eagles are 2-0 with those victories in the FCS playoffs in 2011 and 2012. For Coach, for Derrick, for Jonathan back in the studios, for Deputy AD Chris Davis, Danny Reed signing off from Wild Wing Cafe. This is Hail Southern Live on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
Listening to Hail Southern Live, presented by Morris Bank on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. Hail Southern Live is presented by Morris Bank. Bleed Blue, Bank Blue. Morris Bank member FDIC. Also brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. Macon Occupational Medicine. The health of your business may depend on us. And by the Savannah Airport Commission with the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport.
Legs up, Eagle Nation! Touchdown, Georgia Southern!
The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Georgia Southern Sports Network.